Scheana's here,
Hey.
everybody. Have we done it in person ever?
Wait. I don't think we have.
No, we have.
Have we?
I'll tell you when.
When?
Okay, this was which thank you because you had me on yours, I think.
Oh, yes, we did.
Where we
mine
did
in
a
person.
swap
It was.
at this random
Podcast one.
Oh, that was their
Mhm.
studio? Do you remember where it was in this building?
It was on Maple in Beverly Hills.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Janet was doing it with you at the time.
Yeah.
And I didn't know because she wasn't on the show yet or
Mm-mm.
anything. And that was, I don't even know what year.
That
What?
was probably
Pre-pandemic?
6 years
pre
ago.
our babies.
For sure.
Pre our
Pre our
babies.
babies.
Because I only realized really now that Summer and Noah are similar because you were talking about being pregnant during COVID.
Mhm.
So she's turning 5 also?
She turned 4 in April.
4 in April. Okay.
Yeah.
So a little bit younger than Noah.
Mhm.
But that's wild. When you spoke about this in your book, you just said it out loud, like with no hesitations. But you were just like, being pregnant during COVID was like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Which
I mean, I didn't miss out on anything.
Right,
No
I know.
music festivals,
Nothing.
no trips.
I mean, for you, it's because you're into that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I am not into music festivals, but it was still actually the best time to be pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Because even eating out, you didn't have to ask like the questions about the
Yeah.
food and if it's home, the dress. You were just at home all the time.
Yeah, and we were
Sweatpants.
living in San Diego at the time, so we had literal sunset beach walks every single night. It was
That's
so
so
nice.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I realized reading the book because you guys, I read the book, Sheena's book, My Good Side. I finished it in less than 48 hours.
I love that.
Which my listeners, my people know, which I feel like at this point I can't say I don't read books because I've been reading books, but I don't read many books.
Mhm.
So, read your book.
Yay.
Loved
thank
it.
you.
Loved it. Such an easy read as well, which is important to me.
Mhm.
And I love that we just got to hear your whole story. Like
Yeah.
all the behind the scenes, everything from birth
Literally.
until now.
Yeah.
And all the behind the scenes of the seasons, and you get into the details about I don't even think we knew about like you being demoted, for instance.
No, it's not anything I ever opened up about. I didn't think I was allowed to talk about it, so I was shocked I was able to keep it in the book.
Well, I feel like with Housewives, right?
Mhm.
Because it's like the apple, she doesn't have the apple. The cast knows where they're standing, friend of. I feel like for Vanderpump, we never
No.
thought about that.
And that's what they said. No one watching the show would have any idea. I was still in every episode. I was still in opening credits.
Yeah.
But they just didn't want to pay me.
It's all about the payment. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you went into like the day rate versus
Mhm.
does that feel like a knock to your ego to talk about stuff like that?
No, not necessarily. It's just, it's a part of my story. And I'm now looking back in hindsight, thankful that that happened because it forced me to start my YouTube channel.
Mm.
And I would have never done that had I not felt so undervalued at the time because I felt like you're only showing part of my story. Now you're not even paying me for the full story, so you're not getting it. So I'm going to put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I don't think I ever would have started a YouTube channel had that not happened to
And
me.
it took off your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And you're still doing it, like vlogging,
Every
putting
Wednesday.
it up every
Mhm.
Wednesday. So you did. So it for the demotion part, you got demoted for the season where the new cast was coming.
Yes, season 8.
Okay, so that I mean, they tried the new cast thing and it didn't really
Right. And
work.
after season 8, that's when it was going to split off to what's now the Valley and
Right.
the new Vanderpump Rules.
Right.
So I was supposed to be a part of both of them. So I
Right.
was still at the restaurant. I was integrating the new cast members. I'm hanging out with the OGs. And I'm like, well, I'm doing twice the work for half the pay.
You literally, by the way, so we didn't know this, but it all clicked for me because I was like, I remember you being the only connection because nobody was talking to the new people.
No, just me.
Just you. And you got the short end of the stick in that. And then they brought you back as full-time for which season?
Season 9. There was no way I was coming back after a pandemic, having a baby,
Yeah.
going back to the restaurant, just being on a day rate. I had already been without the show for like a year and a half. We had
Yeah.
a full season off. So, meeting with production and whatnot, I was like, look, if I'm coming back days postpartum, because the day that production was supposed
That's
to start
wild.
was days after my due date. And they put me back up season 9 only to take it away again season 10.
Wait, I cannot believe 3 days postpartum, the cameras went back up.
3 days post coming home from the hospital because I was
I'm th
hospitalized for like 5 days.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And
I was still
especially
in
with the birth
diapers.
that you had, though.
Yes, I know. And you don't see any of that story. It's all
Did you
just left on
film
the cutting room
anything
floor.
in the hospital
Not in the
going?
hospital, but the first scene, Brock and I are in the kitchen talking about what a traumatic birth I just have. I could have almost died, going through all of these things, just how scary that was. Still not even fully processing it. And then cut to, we sit down in the living room, we're eating. It looks like I've clearly been crying, but it was really important to find out if Lala and Katie were being invited to the hibachi dinner for my birthday. Who cares that you almost died last week? Who's coming to dinner?
Oh my god, that's wild.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Just disconnect? Like,
Yeah.
prioritize what?
I think it was just all kind of a blur. I was like, you know what? I have a job to do. The job is to film. And so I just showed up and diaper on, did my job.
I can't believe you did that.
I know. I
And
can't either.
as you guys know, I did a closet edit with a stylist and it was so good. One of my favorite places to shop, and now that I have more room in my closet, I will be continuing to shop there and refreshing my wardrobe with staple pieces from Quince. Quince really nails it with luxe essentials that feel effortless and look polished. So perfect for my like new simple chic mom era. And Quince has everything like that, like chic cashmere, cotton sweaters starting at just $40, washable silk tops, classic denim, timeless styles that you'll keep coming back to. The best part about Quince is not only their amazing products, but everything is half the cost of similar brands. Some of my favorite things to buy from Quince are cashmere, linen, button downs. I literally have a bed from Quince. Okay. I have luggage from Quince. I have like a baby nursing cover that was so expensive at this one store and I got it at Quince for half the price. So listen to me and elevate your fall wardrobe essentials with Quince. Go to quince.com/notskinny for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/notskinny to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/notskinny. Sometimes you guys are like, Amanda, you have a dog. And that really offends me because Leo has been part of my family before I had kids. Dogs are just part of our family. When you have a pet, you love taking care of them because in their own way, they take care of you. But even if you're the best pet parent in the world, unpredictable things can happen. Fortunately, you can always give your care a boost with ASPCA Pet Health Insurance. Today's episode is sponsored by the ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program. The ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program offers customizable accident and illness plans, making it easier for pet parents like you to help your pet get the care they need. The ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program has been around for over 18 years. They've helped more than 600,000 pets during that time. They allow you to customize your plan, helping ensure that your pet's plan is as unique as they are. Because vet bills can really add up, especially when you're least expecting it. It's simple. You use their app to submit a claim and you'll receive reimbursement for eligible vet bills directly into your bank account. To explore coverage, visit aspcapetinsurance.com/notskinny. That's aspcapetinsurance.com/notskinny. Again, that's aspcapetinsurance.com/notskinny. This is a paid advertisement. Insurance is underwritten by either Independence American Insurance Company or United States Fire Insurance Company and produced by PTC Insurance Agency Limited. The ASPCA is not an insurer and is not engaged in the business of insurance. You know when you look in your closet and you have clothes, but you don't know what to wear and you're like, I have nothing to wear, even though you have something to wear, but you're just like, I need help. I've recently discovered Daily Look. Daily Look is basically your own personal stylist in a box. They send you curated outfits that actually fit your lifestyle. So you're not stuck buying random pieces you'll never wear. What I love is that you can try everything on at home, Keep what you love and send back the rest. Daily Look is the #1 highest rated premium personal styling service for women. With Daily Look, you can get your own dedicated personal stylist to curate a box of clothes based on your body shape, preferences, and lifestyle. This is not an algorithm. This is a real personal stylist. You get the same stylist every time, so she really gets to know you. You get up to 12 premium pieces per box and try them on in the comfort of your home, saving you time and effort. So whether you need something effortlessly chic for a day at the office or you want to upgrade last year's sundress, Daily Look has got you covered. It's time to get your own personal stylist, you guys, with Daily Look. Head to dailylook.com to take your style quiz and use my code NOTSKINNY for 50% off your first order. Once again, that's dailylook.com for 50% off, and make sure you use my promo code NOTSKINNY so they know I sent you. One last time, dailylook.com. The promo code is NOTSKINNY. And hearing more about your birth and HELP syndrome, is it called?
Yeah.
Which is so fucking scary.
And often could be fatal.
So it's basically preeclampsia leads to that, the high blood pressure.
Yes.
So basically HELP is preeclampsia gone fucking wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Really scary.
And you said in the book too that like you actually scheduled your induction
yeah.
because of filming schedules.
And that was the thing. So when I talked to my doctor, I'm at my 40-week appointment. She's not coming anytime soon. I'm not dilated even the slightest. And he was like, here's the thing, like, yeah, I was perfectly comfortable pregnant. I would have stayed pregnant for 11 months if I could have, honestly.
Wow.
I was not ready to get her out. She was safe inside of me. She went everywhere with me, and I didn't have to worry about holding her head up or dropping her, all of these fears that I had. And so when I told my doctor, I go, but here's the caveat. I'm supposed to go back to work on whatever it was, like May 2nd, May 3rd. And that date is not changing. So we can wait out the pregnancy, see a week or 2 weeks, but then I could be on camera and my water breaks. Like, they're not going to allow filming in the hospital. I don't want filming in the hospital. So, do we induce me or what do we do? And he was like, you know what? He's like, I want you to have as much time as you can getting used to this before cameras are up. So, make it to your 40-week appointment. If she doesn't come, I'll induce you a day or two after.
Did you ever wonder if you didn't induce, if the birth would have went differently?
Yeah, I do think about that often. While I was in labor, about 15 hours in, when they tell me I have preeclampsia, they need to put me on this magnesium
And you
drip.
never had high blood pressure throughout your pregnancy?
Around maybe like my 20 week, it was like at the beginning of my doctor's appointment for like the whole anatomy scan and all of
Yeah.
that, it was high. Then they took it again after and it was
Oh,
fine.
so they were like white coat syndrome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the day of my 40-week appointment, my blood pressure was high. I had protein in my urine, but they chalked it up to nerves and what I ate for breakfast. Didn't think anything of it. So now I'm 15 hours into labor and her heart rate's dropping. They need to put me on this magnesium drip. I'm just
The
blaming
magnesium
myself.
drip
Like,
sounds so scary.
it was so scary. I'm shaking uncontrollably. I'm like, oh my God, I'm killing my baby because I'm trying to force her out so I can film a TV show. What is wrong with me?
I know, but first of all, obviously it wasn't your fault, and who would know if you would have given birth, if you wouldn't have induced if
Totally.
it would have happened.
And in hindsight,
But it's still
thank God they did induce me because what if I did just go into labor
Yeah.
and I had a stroke and died because we didn't have enough time to monitor my blood pressure and her heart rate? Like,
Oh wow.
it could have gone so much worse if I wasn't being monitored for so long, so carefully.
So this syndrome HELP is like could be
It
fatal?
could be, yeah. I had several women reach out and say they either lost a friend or a sister or someone to HELP syndrome.
And that really terrified you. You talk
Yeah.
about in the book as well, like your debates with baby number 2. Sounds like you and Brock are at a place where it's kind of sounds like off the table until it's on the table, if
Yeah.
it gets on the
When
table.
it comes back on the table, it'll be with the surrogate.
Yeah.
So next step is fertilizing my eggs. I said I already put the work in. I froze them twice 7 years ago.
Right.
So, and this is where I don't know if you and Chloe, I'm trying to remember if you talked about this when you had her on your podcast, but it
Khloe
was one thing.
Kardashian?
Yes. It was one thing that I wish they covered on the show more, having a natural pregnancy and then having a surrogate,
Mhm.
releasing that control but then struggling to bond with her baby.
I mean, she talked about it a lot on the show, which I think is so great that she did
Yeah,
because
it skipped like a whole season. And I
yeah.
was like, where is this storyline? I
Mhm.
want more of it. And then I feel like the last one, it kind of came back to it, but I felt like we
Like
missed
you're
that first year. I want to have like a, not my actual sister, but like a surrogate sister, where we have
yeah.
our surrogates pregnant at the same time and can go through the motions
You love
together.
doing something together,
It was
Scheana.
so fun to have three of my closest friends pregnant at the same time.
Lala.
Stassi and Brittany.
Oh,
And
right,
I
right.
mean, I other friends that, like, people don't even know
Oh, yeah,
were
yeah,
it
yeah,
was just,
yeah.
like, so many
I know.
people.
It is wild that you all ended up pregnant at the same
I
time.
know, and that was not planned
Yeah, that
on
wasn't.
not my part, for sure.
And
Surprise.
are you friends with Stassi today?
Mhm.
You mentioned her in your book a couple times,
Yeah,
just about your differences. It sounds like there's something in Stassi that, like, maybe you wish you had a little bit of, maybe her
totally.
chutzpah or like her, because you talk about being a people pleaser a lot in the
Mhm.
book, and she's not that,
Right.
obviously. So is that the thing that you're like would want from her?
Yeah, I think just that confidence that I had season 1 that season after season was just beat down and kind of taken away. I'm trying to get that back in my 40s.
To get like the confidence back.
Yeah.
Do you feel more confident today than you did in your 20s?
No, 20s, I was the
You
most
were thriving.
confident.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 20s, Sheena, yeah, she slapped.
Cigar
But
Club Sheena,
30s was
Rocky.
a roller coaster. And, 40s, I've only been in it for 2 months. So
How was your 40th
it
birthday?
was iconic.
Yeah?
It was
What did you
so
do?
fun. We had a house party at my friend's house. They have this beautiful oasis of a backyard, 2 levels. We had massages, we had magic, we had a s'mores bar, we had a
So you
private
threw like a
chef.
party.
Yeah.
Did you invite the cast of VPR Valley?
Most,
Yeah?
not
Who
all.
wasn't invited?
I did not invite Sandoval. I did not invite Jax. I did not invite Jesse Lolly. Everyone else I think was invited.
Really?
Yeah.
Showed up?
No, everyone didn't show up, but also Kristen and Nia were pregnant
Right.
and
Right.
very pregnant.
That is exciting turning 40 though. I feel like it's
Yeah,
going to be your decade.
I think so.
So back to 20s Sheena, Cigar Club Sheena, which by
Yeah.
the way, that portion of the book, so interesting because you really take us through the motions of what it's like to move to LA, work in this kind of a place that you intentionally worked at to make connections,
Mhm.
right? And then you actually like meet all these famous people,
Yeah.
including Eddie Cibrian.
Mhm.
Okay. By the way, he's very handsome. Like
Right?
when you don't think of Eddie every day, okay? I don't think of Eddie
I
every day,
certainly don't.
but I was thinking of Eddie in this chapter that you write about him.
Yeah.
And then I might have gone and like stalked him and just trying to remember those dimples. And I'm like, damn, he's fucking cute.
Yeah.
Like, is cute, aged well, motherfucker,
Totally.
and was cute.
I know.
So he walks into the cigar club you're working at. Was it like what? One of the hottest guys that walked in there?
By far.
Really?
Yeah.
And you don't recognize him from anything?
No, not at all.
Because he wasn't like,
He was in the one movie I did see was Say It Isn't So with Heather Graham, but I
you
didn't
mentioned that, but I
recognize
didn't see it.
him from that movie. It was just
Mhm.
when I eventually looked up his IMDb, I was like, "Oh my god, I remember thinking the boyfriend or
Wait,
husband in
and
that
what
movie
year
was
is this?
hot."
Like 2000 what?
This is 2006.
2006.
Yeah,
Okay.
almost 20 years ago,
I
I
know.
met him.
I know. So you meet him, and from the beginning, he's flirty.
Mhm.
And you're like,
Yeah, I'm like,
okay.
"You're cute."
Yeah, but don't Google him. Were
No,
we
I didn't even
Googling
have
everybody then?
no.
We weren't.
I didn't even have a laptop. I had to
Okay.
go to, like, the internet cafe to print
Oh,
out my
right,
auditions. So,
yeah,
my phone I don't even think I had a BlackBerry yet when I met him. Like, I still was on, like, a Trio,
yeah, a trio.
which I
Was
don't
that the
even think
flip
had an
one?
internet browser. No, I did have even before the Trio, I had Verizon, so I didn't get to have a Sidekick or, like, a Razor, the cool other
Why,
phones.
why?
That was, like, a T-Mobile
Oh,
thing.
okay, okay.
And so, I remember I had this one, it looked like a Sidekick, but it kind of, like the screen, like,
Oh,
twisted
yes,
up.
I had that.
Yeah,
Oh, those were the fucking days.
I know.
Um, okay, so you meet him, you flirt with him, you kinda start hooking up. Um, didn't know about his wife.
No, not
I
at all.
didn't
Never
know
wore
it.
a ring. Why would I think this guy who doesn't wear a wedding ring, who goes out and has PDA with me in public, or PDA, obviously,
Yeah.
why would I think he was married?
And then you do mention that somebody at the club came up to you and tried to tell you, but you kind of chalked it up to like it not being true.
Well, because I confronted him.
Oh.
So
Is that
it's
wild? And he just literally told you no?
yes. Like, that's crazy, like, so gaslighting. That's crazy. Why would you believe that? Why would you think that? "Oh, this person doesn't know what they're talking
And you
about."
still didn't Google.
No, I didn't, it
Still didn't
never crossed my mind. Call
to
me
check.
naive, but I never even thought about it. I took his word for it.
So in
I'm too
this
trusting, as we've
yeah,
learned.
wait, in this cigar he was PDA at the cigar club?
No,
Okay, okay.
not while I
Just when
was
you
at
went
work.
out.
Yeah, we would go out after my shifts and,
Okay.
yeah.
So here's the thing that people might not realize about that time is that when he basically he was having two side women, right?
Mhm. Eventually, yeah.
Eventually, yeah. At the point where Brandy found out already, like he was with you and with Leanne Rhymes,
Mhm.
which by the way, they're thriving still together.
I
I've done the
know.
stalking.
At
She's
least they made
they
it
ma-
through, you
I
know?
mean, yes. Yes. Um
Leave your spouses for each other.
it's a big deal.
Yeah.
But still did Leanne get the brunt of it as well in the public or do you
I
feel like
don't think so. I feel like it was just me, and maybe because they worked out. I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
maybe she did. It
Yeah.
was so long ago. That was like 2009.
I know. But it was kind of your intro as you talk about 2 Vanderpump
Mhm.
Rules, and you kind of also talk about how maybe you were kind of tricked into it in a way by Lisa Vanderpump.
I just felt like I didn't have the full story when I was going into this. When I agreed to work this party at Sir, I knew they were going to be filming for Housewives. I did not know that Brandi Glanville was new on the show that season.
Mhm.
I had no idea. I just thought, okay, I'm just going to be there, background, pass my goat cheese balls, and
Yeah.
go home and collect my check.
And you felt like maybe they were trying to have a situation,
I mean,
but
totally.
you didn't end up having a situation. You went home.
I mean, it became a
Yeah, it
situation.
became a situation.
Yeah, and then I got sent home.
Right.
And then time and time again, when I was working at the restaurant, both on and off camera, if Brandy was coming in, it was like I had to go home. I'm like, but I need to make money. So now
Yeah.
I can't make tips because she's coming in. Can't I be in a different section?
What do you think there was a conversation that went on when Lisa was trying to like sell the idea for the show? Like, listen, we have one waitress who hooked
Yes.
up. You think that was like a selling point?
It's kind of been confirmed to me now that she did know all along
Mm. Oh, right. At the what was it? The VPR.
at the dog gala.
Somebody, a producer, told you
Yeah.
that what?
That she was worried in the beginning that the Disney girl who had a connection to Eddie wasn't going to join the show.
But then she did.
And she did.
And this whole what did they used to call you in the first season?
A home wrecking whore.
A home wrecking horror. But that wasn't even you. You didn't
No,
wreck the
I
home.
didn't. He
You
wrecked his own home.
yeah,
Why
he
is it always on the woman?
no, and secondly, like, you didn't successfully wreck the home.
No,
Like, Leanne sorry, Leanne,
wrecked
love you,
both.
love you. But, like, the wrecking the home means the man,
Yes.
you end up leaving, you start a new life, which he did with Leanne,
Uh-huh.
not with you,
No.
but you got the home wrecking horror. And looking back and remembering just those times and all the girls calling you these names, it reminds me kind of like internet culture now, which is even worse than back then, which
Mhm.
is like you hate somebody and you do everything in your power to find out anything bad they've ever done to take them down. And I'm always like, those people don't care about the bad thing that person did. They just hate them and want to take them
Mhm.
down. And I feel like this is kind of true to that, where like,
Yeah.
did they care about Brandy Glanville and Eddie and ruining their marriage? No, they just didn't like you
Mhm.
or you rubbed them the wrong way and they had this thing on you
Yeah.
to use against you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And then it was like, oh, well, if Sheena's trying to steal Brandy's man, she's going to try and steal our man. No, Stassi, I do not want Jax Taylor. You can have him.
I mean, that's wild that that was about Jax.
Yeah.
But how did it actually feel
And
like?
Kristen thought I wanted Tom Sandoval back in the day. She would sit at the bar at Villa Blanca and just like watch us bartend together. And I'm like,
And you never had
we're
a
friends.
flirty thing with
I
Sandoval.
think I naturally have flirty energy. And so I could see how that was maybe taken the wrong way, but I was fully in a relationship with Shay when I was working with Sandoval.
Right.
So it was never like that at all.
I was thinking of posting this last night, but I had a gazillion stories. So I'm going to tell you right here and right now. One of the things that really became a staple in my routine is protein powder. And let me tell you why. One of my favorite protein powders is Clean Simple Eats. It's clean and it's the best tasting. Okay. Their protein powder is always grass fed. No seed oils, no artificial ingredients, third party tested, non GMO, and gluten free. Clean Simple Eats protein powder has 20 grams of protein per scoop. It's incredibly creamy and smooth. What I love to do sometimes, like last night, I made literally a hot chocolate with the chocolate brownie one. Delicious. Like, okay, hot cocoa with 20 grams of protein. This morning, I made a smoothie with some berries. I used the vanilla. This time, I added some nut milk, some cashew butter, and some flax seeds, and it was delicious and nutritious. Clean Simple Eats has amazing flavors to choose from. They have a protein powder variety pack so you can try individual servings or multiple flavors. I love that, by the way. You should check that one out. So visit cleansimpleeats.com and use my code NOTSKINNY20 at checkout for 20% off your first order. That's cleansimpleeats.com. The code is NOTSKINNY20 for 20% off your first order. The link will also be in my show notes. Okay, moms, let's talk about postpartum. Nobody really prepares you for how much your body goes through after giving birth. You're healing, you're exhausted, you're trying to keep a tiny human alive. And taking care of yourself can feel impossible. One of the things that you really need to be on top of is getting your vitamins in. And that's why I love Ritual. They actually have a postnatal multivitamin that's specifically made to support your body in recovery, especially if you're breastfeeding. It's got things like DHA for brain support, vitamin D, iron, and all the nutrients your body is craving during this crazy time. The best part about Ritual is they're traceable, so you know exactly what you're putting into your body and why. Honestly, I struggled with remembering to eat full meals in those early days that honestly seem like a blur. Taking Ritual every day made me feel like, okay, my mind is at ease. At least I know that I'm covering my bases nutritionally. Plus, they have delayed release capsules that are easy on the stomach. Super important to me. They smell minty fresh, which is a lifesaver when you're already feeling queasy or run down. When it comes to pregnancy and postpartum support, you want products backed by research and transparency. Mom Founded Ritual puts in the work and shows you the proof. Get 25% off your first month at ritual.com/notskinny. That's ritual.com/notskinny for 25% off. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. The product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. You know that feeling watching Project Runway and suddenly thinking like, I could totally design a gown out of like paper towels and duct tape, until you remember that you cannot even draw a stick figure and that those designers are actually geniuses and talented and you're not. Anyway, Project Runway is back in dramatic fashion, and the icon Heidi Klum returns to the mother of all fashion shows, now on Freeform, Hulu, and Disney Plus. Project Runway is a place where dreams can come true. World-renowned fashion designer Christian Siriano will mentor 12 designers in the ultimate competition of creativity and passion. Fan favorite judge Nina Garcia is not easy to please, per usual, and new judge La Roche, our pod friend, will be your new obsession at the runway show. The designers better bring their best in front of Law or he's going to let them know like only he can. Project Runway is back, you guys, and it's going to be better than ever. There's drama in the workroom, there's jaw-dropping looks on the runway, and of course, there are iconic judges, including our pod friend La Roche, our girl Heidi Klum, Christian Siriano, which you know and love, and more. Project Runway, Thursdays at 10 p.m. on a Freeform, stream on Hulu and Disney Plus.
You dated a lot of actors.
Did I?
You mentioned a few of them. Shay, Jesse McCartney, which by the way had a huge crush on him. Were you dating him during the time of beautiful?
Okay, so I would like to clear this up. When
Okay.
it's not dating. There a
Okay,
lot of
hookups.
these were hookups.
Hookups.
Some were once, some were multiple
Okay.
times. Like Jesse Metcalf, fully dated. Like
Jesse Metcalf.
yes, we were
Okay.
dating. But most of the other ones I rattled off, I mean, it was more of
Was it a hookup?
yeah,
Were
a
all of
lot
them
of
like
them.
hookups?
But some of them, I mean, it was like over a year, it was over 2
Yeah.
years. That there were several consistent ones in the
Okay.
rotation.
Who was like the best hookup?
Shamar.
Shamar.
Mhm.
Okay. So I wanted to ask you about John Mayer a little bit.
Okay.
Because John Mayer is the reason you ended up getting fired from the cigar
Yeah.
club. You could tell I read the book. Can you not?
Yes.
Is this insane?
I love it.
I know. Because it's so many details, you guys. Look at all these deets. So nobody found out about you and Eddie. Like you didn't get fired for that.
Eddie wasn't a member.
Oh, right. There's
So
that
that was
caveat.
okay. You
Yeah.
weren't allowed to fraternize with the members. And John also wasn't a member of the Beverly Hills Club, but apparently he was a member of the New York Club,
Yeah.
which I didn't know about and honestly wouldn't have cared. I still would have done it. It was
Yeah.
John Mayer.
It was so like with these celebs that you hooked up with, was it like, was there, is what turned you on that they were famous or did you actually like them?
Both.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jesse Metcalf, like I
Who's
had a
hot?
crush on him just from watching him on TV when I was in college.
Yeah.
The hot gardener on Desperate Housewives, and then John Tucker, you know? So that, I mean, when I met him, it was like, oh my God, this
Yeah.
is Jesse Metcalf.
Right.
But then, I mean, he was just a normal guy who liked to play the guitar for me and take me on dates and stuff. So there was definitely that appeal back in the day.
Yeah.
But they all were genuinely nice guys. Like, there's
Yeah.
not one guy I named in there who was an asshole.
Really? None of them like narcissist?
No, not that I can
Really?
think of. Out of the ones I named,
So
I left some
you left some out?
vague.
I know you said like 2 actors from The Notebook. I was like,
Yeah.
what? This is, we're not mentioning who. It's
No.
like, who was in The Notebook? But 2? Okay, let's say Ryan Gosling. She's not confirming or denying.
Not confirming or denying.
But another one?
Yes.
What was it? Oh, I know. E.
Not confirming or
But how
denying.
did you
There's-
decide who you're naming and who you're not?
Because I thought for that, it was when I watched the movie that I realized I was like, oh yeah. I hadn't seen the movie in years.
Okay.
And so I was like, that would just be funny to put in the book like 2 actors from The Notebook.
Oh, that was like a choice.
Yeah.
Just not to name
And
them.
I didn't need to rattle off all of the athletes because there were quite a few. And I'm like, we're already dropping a lot of names.
Yeah. you don't need
Maybe
to-
there's another book one day, you know?
And you don't need to get like approvals or anything like with like mentioning people in a book.
No, if they're a public figure,
Uh-huh.
it's fair game. But I was careful with what details I shared, what details I didn't share, because I did want to be respectful. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to write a tell-all book about anyone other than myself.
That's true. That's nice of you.
Yeah.
Is there a celeb that really wanted to hook up with you that you didn't give a chance to?
Ooh. Trying to think.
Someone at the cigar club, Villa Blanca, in the DMs.
I mean, there were several that it was like an everything but. Like I didn't fully want to have sex with.
Yeah.
There were some of those.
Yeah.
But not that I can think of off the top of my head.
And did you end it with any of these guys? Like with Jesse, John,
I feel like they all kind of naturally just
fizzled out?
or, I had someone new in the rotation, so that
Yeah.
one went out, or this
Right.
one went on tour, this one was filming, or whatever.
Did you ever see Eddie around again?
No, how
Ever?
insane that I've never ran into him. LA is so small.
If you ran into him, though, would you say hello?
I feel like at this point,
Yeah, at
I mean,
this
would
point.
have to have a laugh.
Yeah.
Like
And what about, Brandi?
Brandi, I keep in touch with.
Really?
Yeah, last time we saw each other was probably BravoCon, but she texted me maybe about 5-6 months ago. She was with a mutual friend of ours, and she was like, "Oh, so and so says hi," and da da da. So I try to keep in touch with her, but I mean, we're not like best friends.
Yeah.
obviously.
But I mean, that's better than I would think.
Yeah.
a lot of Vanderpump Rules revelations on in the book, like we said. You said that Kristen revealed on a podcast that they had a meeting about pushing you out
Yeah.
at some point during the
Mhm.
season.
Mhm.
How did that make you feel?
Like shit. I mean, I knew that they didn't want me on their show, but to find out years later that they all had this secret meeting of how can we not include Scheana in scenes and
Yeah.
get her kicked off of our show. I'm like, who was the first scene with? It wasn't any of you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But that, I mean, Sheena, how do you deal with it for so many years? Like, just the constant berating from other cast members or wanting to be friends and not wanting to be friends or trying to ice you out. Like, what kept you so strong all these years?
For some seasons, weed. For other seasons, therapy.
Yeah.
And overall, just not giving a fuck.
No,
Just
yeah.
living my truth, knowing that me being on reality TV, even if you're only going to show one side of me, you're still showing a side that people can relate to. I'm still getting to share lived experiences with the world.
Yeah.
And, that's what we have podcasts for. And that's why I wrote a book.
And you also say, which is very interesting, which I could totally see happening, and this goes along with your people pleasing, is that Lisa Vanderpump kind of used you as a, you know, as one of her pawns, would call you, ask you to kind of like do things, steer you in directions. And you mentioned that there was something that happened that you didn't kind of follow through
Hmm.
with. And that you feel like after that, the
Yeah.
relationship between you changed, like when you didn't follow the orders.
Yeah, I mean, there was no way I was going to say that I think James should continue working here when he's insulting women's bodies. That
Yeah.
is not okay.
Right.
I tried to chime in and be like, well, Katie, what if you don't work on Tuesdays? And she was like, no, it's me or him. I was like, I agree. That was it. I was like,
Yeah.
nope.
And you feel like after that, what, Lisa Vanderpump's
She knew that she couldn't completely convey the story she wanted through me anymore.
yeah.
Because at the end of the day, something may come out of my mouth that's not my original thought, but if I repeat it, I have to be accountable for it.
Right.
And after years of doing things that sometimes felt out of character, which also I think I even did more recently on season 11. But
Like what season
just,
11?
with,
With Sandoval.
yeah,
You think you went too
uh,
hard for him?
I think that I could have done things a lot better.
Yeah.
But when someone who is an authority figure is coming to me and telling me this person who you've cared about for 15 years is suicidal,
Yeah.
and I felt like essentially after that conversation, it was like, there's going to be blood on your hands if he does anything. What am I supposed to do? Just say, oh, well? Like, no. So then
I mean,
that
you were also very emotional this season, which
it all
now that
makes sense.
now that the book comes out,
Yeah,
it all makes sense. Like, okay, projecting a lot.
absolutely. Yeah.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, it's the bombshell revelation in your book, the that Brock cheated
Hmm.
um when you were pregnant.
Hmm.
Big thing to tell the world about.
Yeah. And, I could have taken it to the grave. But then I would have to be lying the rest of my life. I didn't see how I could write a memoir and not talk about one of the most devastating chapters of my life and how I came out on the other side of it. It felt like the whole book, it would be inauthentic.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a piece of work that I'm truly proud to stand behind because it just wouldn't feel like the whole story.
Yeah.
And Brock and I went back and forth with this. There was a leak, a blind item on a blog site that then when I announced the book, it resurfaced on Reddit. So I'm like, okay, well, there's already this. Sure, we can lie about it and just say, like, no, that's bullshit. I think people wouldn't have believed it anyways.
Right.
But you also involved another person here. And at any point in time,
That
this
person
woman
come
can come
out.
forward.
Yeah.
So I'm not willing to hide this anymore and not put it in the book because it just didn't feel right. I needed to tell our whole story as hard as it was to write, to read out loud on the audiobook. I mean, it was really difficult, but
How would he, I mean, you mentioned the book that he supported this,
Mhm.
but what were those conversations like?
Ooh, not good. Lots of tears, couples therapy sessions, and ultimately we weighed the pros and the cons. We talked about, what could be the backlash. But at the end of the day, I was just like, look, this is a part of our story. And I think we need to tell it because the book would be incomplete without it.
And he accepted that
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
It was probably 8 months of going back and forth.
Really?
The first
Like if to
draft.
include it or not to include it.
Yeah. The book sold without it.
Oh,
They
okay.
had no idea when they
Oh,
bought
wow.
the book, and the book sold very quickly after my meeting. So the fact that it sold with a very vague description of what chapter 16 could look like, I'm like, I think the book's good enough without it. And so
Yeah.
I was way leaning more towards let's not put it in, protect our family. Summer's going to find out about this one day if we put it in the book. But then after going back and forth and just thinking about, okay, so then say this gets brought up on whatever season of whatever show we're filming. I'm just going to continue to
You would be
lie.
a liar, yeah.
I'm not a liar. I'm an open book and I can't write a memoir and not talk about this because also I'm really proud of myself for having the strength to stay,
Yeah.
to forgive and to keep the family together because that wasn't an easy decision to make. It
You were
wasn't
debating
one.
for a long time.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't bring it up season 11. I wasn't
So
ready to
now
discuss it
looking
yet.
back at season 11, you guys, and remembering Scheana writing for Sandoval, deciding, being Team Mariana, but wanting to forgive him, like all of that. And how long before your filming did you find out about this affair?
2 months.
So, like, do you understand now that you were like the whole season was probably fueled by that?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
You were literally projecting your
yes.
situation onto this. You say in the book too, like a line that's like, if you didn't forgive
Tom,
Sandoval,
yeah.
then like how could you forgive
Yeah.
Brock? But you also say that you kind of regret a lot of your actions in season 11. So what do you wish the most that you would have done differently?
I think that the affair wasn't even my biggest issue with Sandoval. It was the lack of accountability. And I kind of wish that what is it called? Like held his feet to the fire a
Mm,
little harder.
yeah.
I think that because I so badly wanted to be able to forgive my husband for an affair, how could I not forgive my best friend of 15 years who did the same thing not to me?
Right.
And I know people like to say I try to make everything about me, but I was trying to not make this about me, but also figure out how I can work towards a path of forgiveness so I can sleep at night, so I can have some peace. And hating Brock, hating Tom, that was not bringing me peace. So it was like I had to release both
Yeah.
if I was going to be the best version of myself because there were many sleepless nights, so many tears. I have an extremely empathetic daughter, and every time she would see me cry, she would get tears in her eyes. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I just need to have some peace in my life. And if that means I give you some grace because you're suicidal, then I'm going to give you some
How
grace. But it
did
was
you
a little
slip
too
up?
much, maybe,
Yeah, a little too
you
much.
know?
How didn't you slip up like that whole season of filming or in interview? I mean, just talking about cheating
I'm
and
a vault.
cheating and cheating.
I was it was easy because I was protecting my daughter. I
Mm,
wasn't even protecting Brock.
him,
I
yeah.
was protecting her. And that's the easiest thing in the world
And
to
what
do.
about writing about that and knowing that she'll read it one day?
Thankfully, I think we've got several years to figure out
Or
how we're going to
seeing
tell her
Summer like
this.
just flipping through the book.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I think about, how are we going to explain her half siblings? How are we going to explain this? If we
Yeah.
do a surrogate, that's going to be the soonest. How do we explain?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Did
She's
you
only 4 right now. I'm just trying to figure out where she's going to go to kindergarten.
did you forgive him? Can you
I
say
did.
you
I
did?
said the words, I forgive you. And I remember that moment. I remember exactly where we were. And it was like a weight lifted. It was like I needed to say those words because I was so angry for so long. And I don't even remember how long it was until I
Did
said
you
those
put him
words.
through the gauntlet for a
Oh, yeah.
while?
He
L-
slept in the guest room, which honestly is a really comfortable bed. So it should have been the couch. But yeah, we were not good for a very long time.
Like you feel like you're not going to be bringing this up in a fight. Like how do you move past how like there's that thing
Hmm.
that you can bring up in a fight like you did this like how do you move past that? Like but you like That's probably part
It
of the
was
work.
really hard. Yeah, I mean, it does. It takes a lot of work. There were times where he would leave his Apple Watch at home and not take his phone because he's going on a run. And I'm like, are you really going on a run? And then it's like, I have the intrusive thoughts already from my OCD, but then that took them to another level.
Yeah.
And then everyone wants to say when I told Sandoval, like, he made me have these thoughts about Brock and Lala. I already had insecure thoughts, obviously, about Brock because of what he did.
Right.
But then when the internet started noticing a way Brock and Lala looked at each other on one of my vlogs, and then I'm like, oh my God, well, if Tom and Raquel did, could Brock and Lala? It was like, that did put that in my head as well. I know Lala never would. I know Brock never would. But then I was like, but what if?
But what if?
And so
And we didn't even know the part that like he actually had
exactly. So I mean, my mind would go crazy. We live next door to each other in Palm Springs. When he would go over there to, check on the girls, I'm like, is that what he's really doing? Are they like it just my mind went so insane because I'm like, how could Tom and Raquel have done this for so long?
And lied so blatantly to everyone's faces.
To our faces.
So where do you go from here now that you talked about the affair publicly? Everybody knows. What has been the response online? I feel like
couldn't tell ya. I've for once stayed out of the comment section.
Oh, really?
I know my sister who helps do my Instagram is blocked
the only
some
thing
new words.
I kind of saw people say, which is so, I mean, you're already used to this, is some people think you're making it up
to sell books.
To sell books or for attention but isn't that wild to you that people think that you would do that?
Right. I'm like, hey, honey, so we're going to make up that you had an affair. You're going to get so much shit online, but it's going to sell some books. Who in their right mind would agree to that?
But what is this thing also that people think that where did it come from that people think that you want to make everything about you? Like, I mean, it's become kind of funny, probably not to you, but at this point, the joke is like, how does Scheana feel?
Yeah. Has anyone checked on Scheana?
Right. Anyone? How does that do?
It came from, I mean, it doesn't make me annoyed or upset or anything. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Now I've embraced it. I like to be checked in on, okay? Ask how I'm doing. Ask how my daughter's doing.
It's like somebody has huge news and they're like, check on Scheana. You're like, thank you. I'm doing well. Everything's good.
But I think that came from a moment when I was in Tahoe with Lala. I'm lying in bed with her. I am going through just emotional turmoil in my head. I can't even talk to my husband in Tahoe about it because there's mics and cameras everywhere. So I'm just literally suffering in silence. I think I was like texting him certain things like,
right.
Because I was like screaming. And then when I found out about Dancing with the Stars, it was just like the icing on the cake, finding out about it publicly and not from my best friend.
Right.
And I'm like, it was something that she knew Tom and I always wanted to do. And she wanted to do this show and whatever.
Right, you mentioned in the book that
But
you
I'm like,
Tom.
two things can be true at once. I was so thrilled for her. I was there night after night after night cheering her on.
By the way, what's up with Dancing with the Stars? Have they ever talked to you?
Yeah, it's the same casting director as Masked Singer.
Okay.
And she does a lot of other shows. So, that was a dream of 20s and 30s Scheana. It's not a dream of 40s Scheana. No, I mean, what? Oh.
That was a dream of 20s and 30s Scheana, not a 40s Scheana?
It's not a dream of 40s Scheana.
Okay.
But
you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Do you feel like you're going to stay on reality TV in some way, shape, or form?
Yes,
you do.
Definitely.
Definitely.
So. Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever that next chapter is, it'll be on your television screens for sure.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, Scheana.
Thank you.
Everyone, go read My Good Side. It's so good. It's out already.
Yeah.
Such a good read. Thank you for sharing everything.
Thank you so much.